Hey guys, welcome back to PeacefullyTV, and I'll do some comps rundown with the help of TFT Academy to show all the current meta comps. They at the beginning it's day 4 on PBE, so let's just notice that these comps probably will not last another week. Um, they can be played right now. They feel pretty strong. I haven't played all of them yet, since as you can see, there are many comps, and you need the spots to do so. So we will just talk a little bit about that, and they will also probably some of the meta comps. So I think let's start right away, and I'll give my thoughts to all these comps. Let's start with the S tier comps. There are at the moment 3 S tier comps, and one of them is the reroll comp, the solar reroll comp with Kale and Seichu and Leona. And additionally to that, they add Varus and Shen, which is a pretty good fit. And you can add Amumu later. I think if you're really high rolling and getting a lot of those two costs early on, or getting a streak early on, or good reroll augments, so that you can level later on, you also can play the Lunar Eclipse, which is triggered by putting in 3 solar and 3 lunar. So the Eclipse basically after 10 seconds it executes some champions. I feel it's not that strong though yet, because there are a lot of small additional units on the board, and executing 1 out of 15 after 10 seconds and then every 3 seconds 1, it's not too much. It might help a little bit, but yeah, that's it. Next on there is the we see a fast 9 comp. I think for AD carry wise, yeah, she's probably the strongest, and also usually at PB 5 costs are overtuned, so you will see a lot of people playing fast 9, not doing so much level 8, because yeah, with a little bit of you also can go fast 9 sometimes, but if you play with a lot of good opponents, then you will not be able to make it to 9 as easy as in a random lobby on the test server. So yeah, Ashy, yeah, red buff I feel is really great item on her. Deathblade is a really great item on her. Last time I didn't try Shojin, but I think it makes sense to make her cast hit all the enemies, since her ability does probably most of the damage. In addition, the Elder Dragon does a lot of damage. He almost hits the whole board with his stuff. So these two together with full items are probably killing like almost everything. You have a lot of board wide damage with these two. So they add Juggernaut, okay, a Hunter for that makes sense, and a Mumu as a tank, and Nar, Ivern. I mean, you can also do something different. Crack to give Elder Dragon the buff, probably. It might also be good if you buff Crack to give that them, but the execution ability from Elder Dragon with the buff is really strong, so I recommend doing that. Here will be Amumu your strongest tank. I didn't try Amumu single tanking. It's one of the good ones with stun. I would say it's like Javan ultimate, or even Garen from that's the circle that stuns the enemies basically. Seichu, I think, was one who did that as well, the forecasts. Okay, so I think that's for it. We will not walk through the other fast nines or the other variations, since there is a lot to cover. Rift Beast, yeah, basically one of the strongest comps. You play it basically with Elder Drake, that's your carry. And you play it with 7 Rift Beasts, so Elder Drake here counts as 2, so you had 7 Rift Beasts. You put in Nar, you put in Taric for the specifics, and they want to do Krug, and you might even want to consider ring 3-star in Krug. Although, yeah, that's expensive. You also want to go 9. Putting Brambleback items on Brambleback is like QSS, Titans, Giant Slayer, GA, some good items also with the Merc Wolves. And you have Merc Wolves would be your earlier carries for that. You might want to play some 5 Merc Wolves to get some additional units. Okay, I think, yeah, that's one of the strongest comps as well. I played the Rift Beast twice, and twice I made it to level 10 to put in all the Rift Beasts, and then additionally put in Taric and Nar. So I had 10 Rift Beasts plus those 2 units. Probably it's okay. You just need to be 9. You don't need to have everything. But hitting because you want to hit 2-star Elder Dragon after. If you don't have Elder Dragon 2-star, you might die with that comp. You only have the Brambleback as a second carry, and he dies easily. Elder Dragon has 2 range, so he has a little bit more potential. Okay, let's move on. Ranger reroll. Ranger scales 80 once you have enough kills with him, so you want to have him early on to better skill. And yeah, you want to reroll. You want to, I guess, second. I haven't tried this comp, but I wanted to try it. So you basically go level 7. You put in 3 Vanguard. Probably leave out Taric for now because you will not find him. You will have Aphelios with Mama Peak. You will have Diana as a Vanguard. You will have the Hecarim as a Vanguard, and the Rengar as your damage dealer. You need a lot of money for that. And they even suggest Double Trouble. I'm not really sure about that. So, who knows? I've never seen Double Trouble being played on PBE yet. And I'm hesitant to test it on PBE. You just need to wait for, I would say, live server later on. We have still 3 more weeks of PBE. Okay. On to the next one. Spirit Blossom, 7 Spirit Blossoms. And it's also, they say it's a fast 9, fast 8 comp, and it's easy, but without Ashy, it's not. You cannot hit the 7 Blossoms, so it's a little bit, you can get in a weird position. Ari, the Spirit Blossom is a cool trait. It gives you a lot of econ sometimes. You get a lot of spirits. You get buffs for your champions as well. But without Ashy, I think this comp doesn't work. Therefore, pulling it off on level 8 is quite risky, because without Ashy, you will not have the cap. I tried it today. I put the 80 items on Yunara 2-star. It was a nice carry meanwhile, but I really hit Ashy late, so yeah. As you see, they even want to put in 3 5 costs, and that on level 8. They fit perfectly with the trades, with Juggernaut, with Brawler, and Hunter, and you might even want to consider doing another Hunter for Ashy later on. But other than that, yeah. let's leave it at that. If you can go fast 9 with that, or if you have an emblem, a Spirit Blossom emblem, then I think you can go for it. Elderwood Executioner. So you go Soraka, you go Azrael as your both carries, 4-star. That's a really good fast 8 comp. Also quite, or vertical traits, and your Hecarim will be your tank. That's a little bit the bad thing about that. Hecarim is a 3-star. That's your tank, so we will see how that turns out later on. But what else can you put in? Maybe Malphite. But yeah, let's leave it at that. It's good to play at the fiddlesticks to heal your stuff, and you also have your little thingies from the Elderwood comp, like 2 more protectors and 1 life bloom. And Ezreal definitely needs the mana, the Spear of Shojin, Last Whisper, Deathblade. That's really good. I think you don't want IE on him, but I think you can do... Oh, so, they already crit, so what to do with additional crit items? You can double crit the Gnar, so Thieves' Gloves on Gnar, that's kinda... And I think that's quite good distribution for items. But also the problem, you need both Void Staff and Last Whisper. So this comp over time might not be as strong as you see it here, because it needs both. And I think they even forgot to add Burn here. I'm not sure if there is a unit that applies Burn here. Yeah. Oh, sorry, we are a legendary AP flex. So Malphite, Syra, Soraka with a lot of splash of 5 costs like Maokai, Amu, Tariq, Cannon, and Ivern. So Cannon and Amu will give you burn. Cannon is a really strong unit, I feel. Malphite, definitely a strong tank. And you even have Syra. Oh, you even play Asir, and they even sacrificing Asir for the additional bonuses. So Soraka, they give her some interesting items. Could definitely work. She has 60% crit. She has to execute. She has 3 executioners, which is plus 15% crit strike. Chance also they have precision, so she's at almost 100%. Even then, it might be even more. So it's probably good how to itemize her with that composition. And also, Cannon will be your damage dealer. Soraka will be your damage dealer, definitely. But seems a lot of gold. And I guess the splash the iron. Yeah, let's leave it at that. Iron is a really good support unit to shield your whole team. So you can also itemize him. Or damage, even damage dealing. So, what's that comp? Cash out Morgana. So play style hard. Yeah, I get that. Basically, Morgana is your carry in this sense. In addition, Brambleback. And they do 3/5 costs. So I think that's not quite real how to play that. They want to do Invoker alone. That comp looks unreal to me. Like they do 3 Bramble Beasts. And 4 Vanguard. 3 Rift Beasts, 4 Vanguard, and so on. So yeah, on level 8 you will not find Illume, Tariq, and Iron. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. They want to go loose streak and fast 9. That's a little bit difficult. So you might want to skip a few units here. Definitely a really risky thing. If you lose streak and not enough econ, you will definitely lose out with that. Morgana though doing a lot of damage, so yeah, try her. You will be happy and pleased. She's a 2-range carry. You can put her in the second row to carry you all the way. Okay, let's hit the Draven comp. Draven is, I would say, a little bit of a worse damage dealer than Ashy, but he does better with Ginzo's Rageblade and Kraken's Fury. If you hit him early, you generate a lot of econ, but you definitely need to level 9. In this case, they want to tank Maokai, so you want to go really fast level 9 to also stack the Maokai's passive. Draven is a 5 cost, yes. They pair it with 3 Elderwood to get some additional small units. Ezreal is a good carry. They even put in 2 Executioners with Cannon. So I think that feels really nice. Now that Amumu, Maokai. So that's a well-rounded comp. You might even consider doing Ashe instead of Draven. So they both can be flexible. Then you have also a red buff apply if you put Ashe over Draven in. So although you might say you don't need it because you have Cannon and Amumu, but they both stack. So this set burn stacks, so you can do both the Infernal trait with the burn and the red buff. Okay, that's it for the A-tier comps. Let's take a quick look at some interesting comps from B, C, and D tier or X tier. That's like Warwick reroll. They put it on B tier if you get the rapid fire cannon. I think that is really interesting. You reroll it with the Merkwolf. You play it kind of with 4 Blackthorn to sacrifice your Akali to buff even your Warwick and your other units a little bit more. They even play it with Crocs, so 3 Rift Beasts, yes. And I guess you put the buff on the Merkwolf to enhance the crit chance from the Merkwolf. You might even be able to play that without the ranged rapid fire cannon, but and then I'm not even sure if you need Quicksilver, so or you play it with Quicksilver. That's a little bit of a question mark how to play that correctly. I'm not sure if he dies as fast, but he's really stacking attack speed every time he does his abilities, so he's a really nice carry, especially with rapid fire cannon, probably one of the best. It's probably high B tier. So then there is Rift Beast reroll, Dark Mages reroll probably. So just check them out real quick. Here you reroll the Pebbles and the Gromp. And with the adaptive ability, they do both AP damage. Yeah, I don't know what position you need to be in, like worth the wait, or having a lot of pebbles early on, so you reroll on 6, because you basically want level 8 as well, or level 5, level 7 to put in all the stuff like to Vanguard, to Brawler, and so on. So, but I think that's an interesting and even strong composition. Dark Mages, one of the most interesting ones. And okay, yeah. So they play that with Force Spellweaver. Basically, the carry is your Viger. He gets the Blackthorn buff and the Sprykin buff if you equip the BFF on him. so he will do a lot of damage when he's 3-starred. They also add LeBlanc. That's an interesting take. Yeah. I think that might be interesting. You basically you play early on. You play Rek'Sai, Kabuko, Veigar, and probably LeBlanc. Then next in would be your Ramos to strike in your Veigar. You might even want to considering if you have LeBlanc to equip LeBlanc early on with the items so she can print stuff for your board, so that it becomes easier to hit. And later on, you probably add Karma to sacrifice for your AP carries. The sacrifice gives damage amp and mana regen for those two, which is really important, I feel. So I like this comp. I played it a little bit different with a 4 Bruiser variation with Blossom, where at the end you get to 3 Blossom with Ari and so on. But that might be the way I tried it is quite the expensive try. So just a heads up about the Aphelios comp. It's basically your rapid fire Aphelios, which is not that strong yet with a bunch of frontline. So just to notice that if you don't know what to play and have rapid fire and you can't go 9, probably Aphelios is your go-to. Primal Hunters. Yeah, Ashy, Severe. Not tried Severe yet, but I think she might be your other comp to play, except the Rage Blade variation. So if you don't have Rage Blades, you play probably Sivir over Aphelios. This will be your Spellweaver, the normal caster variation with Blackthorn. You might even want to put you do Lilia, Fiddlesticks, Diana. Yeah, you play it with for Spellweaver, but I can also see that playing with just 2 or 3 Spellweavers at the beginning, and yeah, changing it up a little bit. But basically, your fast 8 or normal 8 standard roll down can look someone like that. So yeah, because you definitely will not find the money to go 9 every round. Forest Fire. That's a 1-cost reroll for Fae. That looks really nice. You can play those early on. If you have a lot of copies, I think that's a quite fair comp. Later on, you put in more fairies or Faes to get the cash outs from the fairies. Sprite Interest. Never seen that comp, never tried it before. I think that's also a good way to roll down, roll on level 7 and 3-star your 3 costs. So that's something I need to test. Kha'Zix seems worse than your Rengar, but we don't know what's happening in a week. Also, yeah, so I don't feel he's quite good, so I'll not even give that a thought yet. Coven reroll might also be something you wanna think, but probably not the cash out. And Cassiopeia, sorry, with Fiddlesticks, also something that's not performing yet. Fiddle is not the best tank at the moment. Okay, so yeah, that's basically it for the rundown on the tier list. I hope that was helpful to you and you can use it. It helps you get a little bit of head start on how the meta is at the moment at PBE, and let's see you in game.